Alright guys, day 53, part 1. So first of all, again, I apologize for the background noise. I'm still stuck recording outside. And second of all, I also apologize for not uploading both of these videos on time today. I read that there was a personal emergency earlier in the morning, so I wasn't able to record today. So yeah, but no matter what, I promised 2 videos a day, every single day. And so here they are. This is the first one. The next one will be released shortly. So in this video, I want to talk about like something that I learned today while I was commuting. I was listening to a podcast episode by Think Media, and they featured Alex Hormozi in a presentation where he was talking about audience building and content marketing. And as you know, I've been following the guy for a really long time. Probably since he's had, I don't know, 1,000, maybe 2,000 subscribers. So, I've been listening to this guy for a while, and safe to say, he's changed my life. So, Alex, if you're watching this, probably not, but if you are, thank you for the information that you put out there. It's truly useful. So, in this video, I just want to give you guys one thing that I learned from listening to that podcast. I'll make a couple more videos about this presentation because it's so valuable. Like, if you guys can watch it and you're interested in starting an audience or building some kind of personal brand online and growing your online presence, please go check out that presentation. It's amazing. Again, it's by Think Media, ThinkMedia, Think Media, and they'll show Alex Hormozi in the thumbnail, I believe. So it'll be hard to miss. It's probably gotten tons of views by this point. So yeah, go check that out if you're interested. And so there's one distinction that Alex talks about in the context of creating content, and it's something that I think I constantly need to remind myself of, which is, which isn't exactly a good thing. Hold on, there's an airplane flying over. I'm gonna wait until it's gone to start speaking again. Okay, it's gone. So there's one distinction that Alex always talks about, which is the frame in which you say something, right? In the presentation where he was talking about how he grew his following, how he was able to build such a large audience in such a short amount of time, and the main obviously he shared his systemized approach to producing tons of content on a weekly basis, but the thing that he shared that he thinks is the most valuable asset that he has is his experience. It's pretty simple. His formula, he says, do shit and then tell other people about the shit you did and how you did it and what you learned from it. All right? And so that's the frame that you always want to maintain. You don't want to talk about things that you don't have the experience to talk about. Even I've talked about this on this channel before. If you're going to speak like an authority, make sure you have experience in that field. Make sure you've actually done something of significance before speaking about that thing, right? And so instead of always trying to speak like you're an authority by telling people you should do this, instead, if you were to change the way you phrase that sentence by saying, here's what I did, this is what works for me, hopefully you can take something from this and apply it to your own situation, right? That comes across much better, right? Alex Hormozi talks a lot about goodwill compounding faster than pretty much anything else, and if you use the latter framework, right, people are going to perceive your content and your message in a much different light. They're going to actually enjoy it. They're going to take it as a suggestion. They're going to take it as something that they can use if they choose to, something that they can incorporate if it's applicable to their situation. It's not something that you're shoving down their throat by saying you should do this or you need to do this in order to get this. Right? The only situation where you can say something like that is if you have a lot of experience in that thing and you've achieved a significant amount in that respective field. Like, for example, when Alex gives advice about business, right? If he says you need to do this in order to increase your revenue by this much in this particular business, if he says that, you're probably going to listen to him simply because of the fact that he's built so many successful businesses and scaled them to multiple 8 figures. That gives him credibility. That gives him the authority to speak about how to do well in business, right? He can teach in principles to a far greater depth than someone who's only done, let's say, 6 figures in revenue from their business so far. Not to say that that's a bad thing or that you can't talk about things you have accomplished a lot in, regardless of whether you've accomplished the most in the world, or the I don't know, like the 10th, if you're in like the 10,000th place on the world's millionaires list or billionaires list or whatever it may be. Hold on, there's a car passing by. Give it a second. Okay, the car seems to be gone, and unfortunately there seems to be another. Okay, no, the car's gone too. All right, so again, sorry about the background noise. I'm stuck outside. So yeah. Anyways, getting back to the point. So, basically, Alex always talks about that distinction, and how like you should always try to speak from a position of this is what worked for me based on my circumstances, based on my skill sets, based on who I am as a person, based on my identities, based on my identity, based on my values, and so on and so forth. Basically, if you can create content and speak about it in such a way wherein you explain to the person that you're teaching that what you're talking about is what worked for you under your specific circumstances, and that they can choose to use your information and apply it to their circumstances if it's applicable, that kind of content hits different. All right, the message is different. It's better received by the individual who's watching your content, right? If right now I made a video telling you that you need to do this, or you need to give this up in your life in order to get so and so, right, you're probably not gonna like it, right? Even if it's the truth, right? Even if it's the truth, you're still probably not going to like it, simply because of the fact that I may not have the evidence to support that I have authority in that field or in that thing that I'm talking about, right? There's a big difference between me giving people financial advice versus me giving people productivity or self-improvement advice. The latter, I have tons and tons of experience in, probably 6 to 7 years of experience with. By now, I've learned a lot. I know what works and what doesn't, and so I can speak confidently about those topics. Whereas about financial advice, sure, I failed a lot and I've tried a lot of different things, but at the end of the day, even though I have learned a lot, even though I know most of the principles that multimillionaires and millionaires and all of them know, it's still not going to be well received by you if I gave you that kind of advice, because that's simply something that I have not accomplished yet. However, if I said in the context of finance that, hey, this is what I did under these circumstances and this is what worked for me, you would take that very differently. You'd be like, oh, okay, he's giving me a suggestion. I can use it if I want to, if it's applicable to my situation. And so that's the way you want your content to be received by your viewers, right? They're going to trust you more. They're going to like you more. No one likes to be told what they're supposed to do. People are open to suggestions. People are open to things that can help their situation. But if you tell them that this is the only way to do this, or that you need to do this in order to get this, in order to get that, right? Let me explain it in another way. If you've watched any of my content, you're probably a lot like me, because I create content for my younger self and for my present self, right? That's my target audience, people who are similar to me, people who have similar goals to me. And so you guys are very similar to me, the people who consume and watch my content. If you do, thank you very much. I'm grateful for your time and attention. And so if you watch my content, right, you don't like being told what to do. I hate being told what to do. That's the very reason why I'm into entrepreneurship. Like, it's probably one of the biggest motivating factors. Me being my own boss, not having to report or answer to anyone, having complete ownership of my time, being able to do whatever I want, whenever I want. That's something that I cherish, right? I do not like being bossed around. I never have, and I never will. And I know that you guys don't like that either, because if you watch my content, you're probably very, very similar to me by nature. So if I tell you that you're supposed to do something, even if it's the truth, will you listen to it? Some of you might, yeah, but are you gonna like it? Probably not. Even if I'm telling you the truth, even if you decide to implement it and eventually take it to heart, you're still not gonna like the fact that I told it to you in that particular way, or that. Hold on, there's a car going by. Okay, the car's gone. Sorry about that. So, even if I'm telling you the truth, you're still not gonna like it if I say you're supposed to do this, otherwise you're not gonna get what you want. Instead, if I say something like, okay, this is what worked for me, here's something that you can try if you want. All right, that's very different. And so that's something that I'm going to, again, focus even more on incorporating into my content in the spur of the moment, while I'm writing scripts, when I tap into a flow state, and I'm in the zone. Occasionally my tonality changes. Occasionally I may use the wrong words, so I apologize in advance, and I apologize for the videos I've done that with in the past. I know my very first video that I uploaded on this channel, I had Okay, that's a dog. I know that the very first video that I uploaded on this channel, I basically had no authority to talk about that subject. It was a video about why billionaires shouldn't pay taxes, and you know, I'm learning just like you guys, and I learn new stuff every day. So, you know, hopefully, you can see it in my content in the future. Gosh, this dog, bro, please shut up. All right, he's not listening to me. So hopefully in my content from now onwards, you guys can see that I'm really taking it to heart, changing the way I speaking, even if in the future, regardless of whether I have experience, like even if I have experience in the subject, even if I have a ton of authority, right? If it's something like about productivity, about self-improvement, about discipline, about stuff like that, things that I have a ton of experience with, even if I have the authority to speak about those things as an authoritative figure, I'm still not going to. I'm still going to try my best to speak again as a student, as someone who's always trying to learn, as someone who's just sharing what he's learned along his journey. That's what my channel is. I'm documenting my journey, and so reflecting on the videos and the content that I made in the past, I know that at least from my standpoint, I don't think I've done the best job of actually documenting my journey, so much so as preaching. At least that's what I think it comes across to many of you. So again, I apologize for that, and you know, I'm gonna do better from now onwards. So yeah. Anyways, if you listen to this video at all, like most of these videos get no views unless they're registered as shorts on YouTube. I haven't recognized as shorts on YouTube by the algorithm because most of these videos are not underneath a minute in duration. But yeah, if you did actually watch this, thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.